Hello, students. We're back again for another fun-filled, interesting, and exciting science class. The other day, we talked about the plants, the different type of plants. You remember? Yes? We also talked about the different parts of a leaf. Do you still remember the petiole, lamina, veins, midrib? Yes. And we also talked about leaf venation, right? The parallel venation, the reticulate venation. So let us continue knowing more about the plants, okay? Let us first see the importance of leaves. Leaves are very important parts of a plant. You do one experiment at home, okay? Very easy experiment. At home, I'm sure your mother must be having a plant like this, yes? Or any trees you can use of any shrubs or herbs at home, yes? So you do like this, you take one poly bag, okay? You take one plastic bag and, gently you cover it like this, okay? And tie it with a rubber band, all right? It should be in the sun, okay? It should have the plant should be healthy, a healthy one. So keep it covered like this for some time. Then after some time, after a few hours, you go and see what happens. Go and see what will happen, students. In the poly bag, in the plastic bag, you will find droplets of water. Amazing, right? Droplets of water. Previously, the plastic was dry. Use a dry poly bag, okay? Then after a few hours, you will find droplets of water in the poly bag. Like this, see? Yes? And you can collect water even like this. Why? From where this water is coming? Did it rain? No, it did not rain. How? It means the leaves has produced the water droplets. Okay, here, see, even you try them in a glass, in a mirror. If you do like this, if you give your breath like this, then it becomes wet. Yes or no? So just like that, see, just like that, the plant is also breathing, and it is, giving out water. At first, when you are, when you're doing like this, when you're blowing your breath, it is just gas, isn't it? It was just gas. But when it fell on the mirror, it becomes liquid, like water. Just like that, the plants or the leaves have given out water, or the leaves is losing water from the leaves. And this process of losing water from the leaves, this process is known as what? Transpiration. What? Transpiration. Okay? The loss of water from a plant through the leaves is called transpiration. Now, plants release a lot of water during this process. Yes, just from the picture itself, even though it is just a small plant, so many water droplets. And in the jungle also, if you go to the jungle, if you're thirsty and if there's no water, you didn't bring any water, if you have a poly with you, you tie it in, many branches. And after a few hours, you go and collect the water and you can drink it. Okay, it is pure water. Okay, so that process is known as transpiration. The loss of water from a plant through the leaves is called transpiration. And in this way, plants lose a lot of water. Let us do one more experiment of the leaf. Okay, leaves, you take one green leaf. Okay, green leaves, and you can just directly boil it, okay, in a clean water, boil it, then all the green color will disappear, isn't it? The green color would have disappeared. Take out the brown, okay, the brown leaf and wash it, and put a little starch, put a little iodine in it, okay, iodine. Then it turns blue-black. The color, the leaf will turn into blue-black color. I'm sure you must have done this experiment in your other classes, okay? So it means that starch is present. And what is this starch? Starch, in your lower classes you have studied starch, carbohydrates. Yes, it is a food. Carbohydrate is it is a kind of nutrient which is present in the food. So that means leaves, this test shows that leaves have starch. Okay, leaf turning blue-black when you put iodine indicates the presence of starch. All right, so that means the leaves have got food. The leaves of plants, they have food in them. Now, let us see how they make their food. We know that, okay, plants also need food to grow. So let us see the process, how they make food. Plants do not cook in the kitchen, but they make food. Using what? Nobody helps them. But these green leaves uses the help of the sun. A natural object, sun. When there is sunlight, okay, the green plants uses sunlight. What else? They use water, very important. They use carbon dioxide in the air. Yes, this is how they make food. They don't need salt or pepper or they don't need all those onion vegetables. No, but leaves or plants, they need only this: sunlight, carbon dioxide, a gas, water. Okay, they need water, and this green pigment called chlorophyll. So with the use of all this, they make food. They make food, the leaves make food for all the parts of the plant body. There is not only a single leaf, yes or no. You have the fruits, you have the flowers, you have the stems, so many parts to be fed, yes or no. So the leaves, they make the food for the rest of the plant body. And by doing this, while they are making their food, they will give us what? Oxygen. Yes. So see how plants are important to us, because we, human beings and animals, without oxygen, we cannot survive. We cannot live. We will die. So who gives us oxygen? Or what gives us oxygen? The plants, the green leaves. While they are making the food, they give out oxygen, which we use, which the animals use. And this process of making food is known as leaves make food for the plant in the presence of sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide, as well as chlorophyll. And this process is called, yes, you can see and tell me, photosynthesis. Yes, we're just like having a revision of your class 4 class. Yes, you have heard this word, photosynthesis. Photo means light, okay? So with the help of light and carbon dioxide, water, chlorophyll, plants make their food. And this process is called photosynthesis. Very important process, okay? Students, you have to know this by heart. It has to be in your fingertips, this photosynthesis. Now let us see. Now we know that the plants, they need water for making food. Yes or no? So from where do they get this water? And the transpiration also, transpiration process we just looked at. The water, from where did it came? Yes, it was given out by the leaves, but how did the leaves get the water? Yes, from the stems. Yes, the other class we talked about. Stems helps in the outward movement of water. But how did the stem get the water? The stems and the plants, the leaves got water from, yes. What is this? Roots. You know that the part of the plant which is in the soil and which attaches the plant to the soil is called the roots. So it is the roots which absorb water and supplies upward to the stems and leaves and flowers and all this. Roots absorb water and minerals from the soil and supply to the plant. okay? And roots anchor. Anchor means fix firmly. Fix the plant firmly on the soil, okay? So roots anchor the plant to the soil. You can, if you don't believe it, you can do an experiment like this. In 2 pots, okay, you cut off the root, okay, throw out the root and plant it like this. Plant it in the soil without the roots. This with the roots. After 2 weeks, you just see, or after 1 week, you will see that this plant would have died or withered, weak. While this plant, which have roots, they would have grown healthy, no effect. They will be growing without any effect. While this plant, without the roots, they would have died or withered. That means roots are very important, which absorbs water and minerals from the soil, okay? Then let us see. Have you seen roots like this? Yes? Can you tell me any difference between these 2 roots, the roots that is below in the ground? Yes? These 2? Any difference? Yes? Can you see any difference here? In this root, there is a main root, okay? This one that I'm pointing at, this is the main root. And from the main root, branches, small roots are coming out. Yes or no? From the main root, there is one main root and there are small roots coming out. Whereas this one, there is no main root, no single main root. All the roots are coming out from the base of the plant. All the roots are coming out from the base of the plant. Yes. So just like the leaves have got, different designs. Yes or no? So roots are also different designs. Roots also have different designs or different system. So this is known as a taproot. TAP. Yes? Listen carefully, okay, students? This is a taproot. A taproot has a main root where small roots or lateral roots will come out, whereas this is known as a fibrous root. What root? Fibrous, like a fiber, like threads, like fiber is coming out from the base without any main root. So this is the difference between a taproot and a fibrous root. See, you can see. Even carrots, see, an example. Can you give me an example of taproot? This is a radish, right? A radish, a carrot. They all have, and most of other plants, they have taproot. And what about fibrous root? Can you give me an example? Yes, grasses, okay? Fibrous root and taproot. Fibrous root and taproot. Now you know the difference. Now let us see again another very interesting fact. The plants, you remember the reticulate venation? Yes, leaves which have this kind of design, reticulate venation. Do you remember? Yes. So plants, leaves having reticulate venation, they will have taproot. Remember, a very interesting fact. Leaves with reticulate venation, they have taproot system. Whereas, you remember the parallel venation? Do you remember? See, the first one, leaves with reticulate venation have taproot system. Then, yes, the leaf, the parallel venation in a banana leaf, this, and in grasses, and not only that, but maize, corn, rice, all those cereals, you remember? The leaves are all parallel, yes or no? Parallel venation. And such type of parallel venation, they will have fibrous roots. Okay? They will have fibrous root system. So leaves with parallel venation will have fibrous root system. So students, when you look at a plant, okay, it is still in the soil, okay? It is still in the soil, but can you tell me now, will you be able to tell me if I ask you what kind of roots they will have? Yes, taproot. Or if I ask you, hey, student, what type of roots will this have? Can you tell me? Just by looking at the leaf, okay? You just look at the leaf and look at the design. Design. So if there is a network, okay? If the veins are branches, if the veins are reticulate, that means you can tell me, yes, ma'am, this has got taproot, reticulate, taproot. And if you look at the grasses, you can see, oh yes, the leaves are strips. They have strips, okay, like parallel veins. So, ma'am, this will have fibrous roots. Okay, so that way you will be able to identify the different root system, fibrous root as well as taproot. Let us see the last part of a plant. Very attractive, yes, very colorful. In your lower classes also you have studied, but let us have a quick revision, okay? See, this is a whole flower, okay? This is a whole flower, and let us find out the different parts of a flower, all right? The green part, which you can see below the colorful part, see? Below the flower, this is known as the sepal, S-E-P-A-L, sepal. And this colorful part of a flower, the colorful part here, it is red, but you will have yellow, pink, blue, green colors. Yes, so those are known as petals. Okay, petals. And here inside, if you break open the flower, you will find structures like this. So here the thin long parts are known as the stamen. Okay, and inside the inner one, the thick one, is known as the pistil. Now, can I tell you an interesting fact, students? That this is the male reproductive organ. This is the female reproductive organ in a flower, because it is the flower which gives rise to seeds. Yes or no? It is the flower which gives rise to fruits. So from there again, new plants will grow. So plants also reproduce. Yes, the other day we talked about the living organisms, the characteristics of living organisms. They reproduce from the plants, reproduce from the flowers. And this stamen is the male reproductive organ. Pistil is the female reproductive organ. Let us see the different parts again of the stamen. Okay, here in a stamen you will find the long part is known as the filament. Okay, the long part of the stamen, this is stamen. Okay, the long part is the filament, and the head of the stamen is known as the anther. Yes, anther, A-N-T-H-E-R, anther. Okay, this is a structure. Now, in this anther, I haven't labeled here, but I will tell you, in the anther, usually when you touch a flower, there's a powdery part. Yes, if you touch this anther, your fingers will be stuck with those yellow powders, white powders. Yes, those are known as pollen grains. Okay, pollen grains. And this is the pistil. Let us see the different types of the different organs of the pistil. Here you have the long part is known as the style. It is a female, so it is a style. Okay, so this is known as the style, and here is known as the stigma. The top part of the pistil is the stigma. Then we have the ovary. Okay, here the big round part is known as the ovary. Even in human beings and animals, we have ovary. All right, then inside, if you cut open this ovary, you'll find small egg-like structure like andas. Small structures. They're known as ovules. Okay, and with the help of this ovary, when the flower matures, okay, when the plant matures, when the flower, all the petals have fallen away, the stamens have fallen away, then this ovary will grow into the fruit, and it will produce the seeds. The ovules will produce the seeds. Then you will have a fruit to eat, and the seed to plant and to give rise to a new plant. Okay? So, very interesting, isn't it? Very exciting to know about plants. So, now you know the different parts of a plant, the functions of flowers, the leaves. Don't forget this. Okay, students, this is a very important chapter. So, for now, we will end here. And until the next class, you take care. See you and bye bye.